Hello everyone and welcome back to Complete Frontend. I'm Shrikant. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft and I'm here to teach you JavaScript in depth. So in this lecture, we are going to be learning about data types in JavaScript. For those who are new to this channel is all about learning things in depth. Let me just take a minute to help you understand why. As AI is coming, the basic things of coding that a software engineer one used to do will no more be needed because more or less already AI is already able to do that. So you will need to be a software engineer 2 or above, a knowledge of a senior software engineer perhaps, to be able to survive because companies will expect that much more out of you, right? Having said that, you will still need to know how to code to be able to debug and understand the code that AI writes. So your job mainly is going to be on system design. Your job is mainly going to be on understanding the code in depth, architecting it, and being able to debug the way AI cannot. That is where knowing concepts in depth comes into picture. That is exactly the reason why I found a gap in the market and I created this channel about 2 months ago to help people learn things in depth. I'm here to share my knowledge that I took 8 to 9 years to gain. Everything I'm going to teach, everything I know into this channel, into the lectures that I'm creating over here. Okay, so let's get back to the lecture now. So in this lecture we are going to be learning about data types in JavaScript. What are data types? To be able to learn data types, you will have to go back and learn about variables. So I created 2 lectures on variables. One goes very much in depth into how variable works in JavaScript and one about understanding variables in JavaScript to start with. So if you haven't watched that lecture, please go visit either at the end of this lecture or at the top. I would have linked the link to those lectures. Please check them out. So getting back to data types now. So what are data types? So just like I told you that there are containers, variables are like containers, I told you, right? So imagine you are storing, for example, laddus, okay? And for example, you are also storing water and you are also storing some rice or chapatis, okay? Now, how will you store them? They are of different ways of storing them, right? You'd probably put the laddus in a box. You'd probably put the chapatis on a plate or a container, and you'd probably put water in a bottle, right? Are you going to put water on a plate and chapatis inside of a bottle? Probably not, right? So everything has to be stored in a certain kind of container and it has to be put in a certain box that will represent the type of whatever you are storing. Agreed? So everything should be stored in a particular way. That is how you will be able to get back to it, right? Similarly, that is the same way you can think about data types in JavaScript. Okay, but there is a small difference. Actually, in JavaScript, the variable that holds your data, for example, you create a variable called name, okay, and the name is going to be Shrikant. Okay, now let name is equal to Shrikant. Now here the name does not hold the type. This is called as what? If you remember, this is called as a variable, right? So this is called as a variable and this is called as a value. If you are not familiar with these terms, please go back to the variables lecture. Okay, you'll be able to understand. It's lecture number 8 and lecture number 9 in the JavaScript playlist in this channel. So please check it out. Now coming back to a variable, the name is like the container, right? So listen to me very carefully right now what I'm going to say. Okay, it's very important to understand how variables and data types work in JavaScript. So listen to me carefully. Okay, so say I was telling you that you need to put something in a container. Agreed? So here we are putting what? We are putting Shrikant in this container called as name. Agreed? So this is called as name right now. The banner, the name of this container is called as name, and what the value I am putting inside of this over here, that is going to be Shrikant. Agreed? Agreed? So I told you to store water, there's going to be a bottle. To store laddus, there's going to be a box, and to put chapatis, there is going to be a container. So there are 3 different containers. So there are different kinds of values in JavaScript as well. Will they be stored in different kinds of containers? To understand that, first let's understand what are the different kinds of data types that we actually have in JavaScript. Okay, so let's try to understand that first. So in here, you will be able to see the different kinds of data types that we have mainly in JavaScript. So in this lecture, I'm going to be talking about all of the data types in general. We are going to be having separate lectures for each of these data types in the upcoming lectures. Okay, so it's very important for you to be able to understand every single data type, every single JavaScript concept in depth. That's my goal, guys. Okay, so just listen to me very carefully and try to understand it. Okay, what are these data types? So there are three main data types in JavaScript. Okay, there are three main data types in JavaScript. That starts from here. Okay, that starts from here. So these are the three main most commonly used data type, I would say, okay, in JavaScript: the number data type, the string data type, and the Boolean data type. Okay, then comes two other data types which are undefined and null. Okay, I'll explain you the meaning of this in detail in just a while. And then comes the two other new data types that were introduced in ES5. Those are bigint and symbol. Okay, write this down. These are the primitive data types in JavaScript. Okay, primitive data types in JS. Okay, write this down. Now let's go to code quickly. Okay, let's go to code. So if I go to code here, let's start writing code. Okay, so what is a number? Any value that you store to save a digits or a number is called as nothing but the number, right? So if I just say let age is equal to 25. Now in here, the value of 25 is the number that is stored in a variable called as age. Got it? Okay, so this is called as the number data type. This is nothing but the number data type. Now, quick understanding about numbers. In JavaScript, most of the variables are stored, usually they are stored as 64-bit values. 64-bit space is what is given to a variable in JavaScript. In JavaScript, all the containers are the same. You'd store chapatis in the same box, you'd store water in the same box, and you'd also store laddus in the same box. So I was just explaining you to understand what different data types can be, but in JavaScript, the containers are the same. So where do these data types come from? They come from the values itself. Why? Because JavaScript is called as a dynamically typed language. Write it down. JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. That means you can store any type of data in the same variable. You can put, say, the water in the same box, you can put chapatis in the same box, you can put laddus in the same box. In other languages, usually that's not allowed. You can create a box that can only hold laddus. You are not allowed to put water over there. If you put water over there, it's going to say, hey dude, no, water is not allowed in this box. Okay, but in JavaScript it's like a chill guy. It's like, you can put anything, I'm okay with it. It agrees to everything. But these things have also the other flip side of things, right? That there can be errors. Okay, because age, tomorrow somebody can come and change this to age equal to say 25. Now what's going to happen? Now this data type is called as a string. So how do you actually create a string data type? Strings can be created in three different ways. Number one way of creating strings. First way. Okay. First way. So that's going to be let name one is going to be Shrikant. Okay. What's the thing here? You have used double quotes. A string starts and ends with double quotes, guys. Okay. A string starts and ends with double quotes. Got it? And it can also be written like let name2. I'm just saying name one, name2, just so that you understand the different ways of writing it. Okay, it starts with single quotes and ends with single quotes. Okay, that's the second way of creating strings. Now the third way of creating strings would be, you can say name3 is equal to, I can use backticks. Okay, backticks, you know backticks, right? So you can use backticks to create strings as well. Now, does it matter how you create strings? Well, the usual convention is to use double quotes, but there is no fast and hard rule like, hey, you need to use this way of creating strings itself. Nobody's ever gonna sue you for actually creating strings in a particular way. Okay, but you need to know that these are the 3 ways of creating strings. So I'm going to say 3 ways of creating strings. Okay, so one other thing, guys, I'm gonna actually put all this code inside of my GitHub, and I'm gonna start sharing that link in my Telegram channel. If you are coming directly to this lecture and not via my Telegram channel, please go to Telegram and start searching for @complete frontend. I have linked it in the description of this video as well. Please go and join the Telegram channel. I'll be sharing that lecture, the GitHub link over there. I also share a lot of other news and exciting things, including giveaways in my Telegram channel. So please do check it out. Okay. So now coming back, the 3 ways of creating strings is done. And this we learned it to be a number. Now, quickly, let's get back to the iPad. So you need to understand that numbers in JavaScript, right? So numbers in JavaScript will always be stored as a floating point value. What's a floating number and what's an integer number? When you write something called as age is equal to 29, now 29 is nothing but an integer number. Okay. What is a floating point number? If I put it like 29.5, this would be a floating point number. Got it? I hope you understand the difference between an integer number and a floating point number. So getting back to our lecture, everything, this number type holds this integer and floating point number in one. That means your number, the type of this data is always going to be called as number in general, and it's going to be stored as a floating point number under the hood. Clear? Now, let's get into the other data types over here. So one other thing, guys, if you want to learn more about numbers, always the best documentation to learn anything in JavaScript is going to be Mozilla. So please go to this Mozilla. You can understand all about how numbers work. But guys, I'm pretty sure if you're new to this lecture, or even if you're an intermediate, you will find reading through Mozilla to be very tedious. It's like an ocean. Okay, that's why I'm extracting all the required things out of it. Trust me, whatever you are following in this channel is more than enough. Is more than enough to clear any interview. Okay, and you should be able to know it's enough to crack any company out there as well. That is in my opinion. Okay, so you should be able to understand everything. Of course, you will have to put effort to learn more things. That it doesn't mean that you just come and look at my lectures and magically you will become a JavaScript expert. Of course, that doesn't happen. You have to put your efforts. But then I'm teaching you everything that you need to know in one package of this playlist called as the Complete Frontend JavaScript course. Okay. Now coming to Boolean data type. What's a Boolean data type? Boolean is nothing but it has only 2 values. Boolean has 2 values. Okay. That's going to be true or false. Okay. There are only 2 values over there, that is true or false. It's like saying, is Srikanth above 18 years of age? Can it be true and false at the same time? Absolutely not. Just like it's showing over here. Is it logged in? Can you be logged into Instagram and not logged into Instagram at the same time? No. Right? Can a person be, for example, standing up and sitting in the chair at the same time? Absolutely not. So it's going to be those things which are going to be decision making parameters. It's, for example, is he allowed to do something? It's like saying certain features can only be given if the person is above 18 years of age. For example, to be able to get an Aadhaar card, you need to be above the age of 18. To be able to drive or get a license in India, you need to be at least the age of 18. Now, is that person above the age of 18 or not? That is a decision that can be done by doing what? So, for example, now I'll show you how to use the Boolean data type. Okay. Let's say let date of birth is equal to, let's say 1/1/1995 or something. Okay, 1/1/1995. Now, if I say let is adult. Okay, is adult. Is it true or not? Is it true or not? So I'll make it actually simple for you. Let age is equal to 18. Okay. Now, if I say is adult is equal to, okay, is adult, is it, how will you decide? Age greater than 18. This is how you write it, okay, in JavaScript. If you're new to this, don't worry. Is greater than 18. Okay, now if I put something like is greater than or equal to 18, because on the day of 18 also you are an adult, right? So is greater than or equal to 18, this person is going to be an adult. Now let's quickly print this value, right? So let me start this by saying open with live server. Okay, I think I have disabled my extension over here. So let me just activate live server again. Okay, is it active? Oh yeah, it's active. I'm sorry, that is silly of me. So I just need to open it via here. Okay, so I'm just opening this. Okay, and let's go to console, and let's try to print this. Okay, so console.log. How do you print? Console.log, right? Console.log. Guys, please don't watch this like a Netflix movie. Okay, please write the code down, pause this video, write the code down. That's when you will be able to actually make the best out of this. I'm putting a lot of effort to teach you over here. The best use you can make out of this is by actually coding yourself. Okay, so it might look, this is very simple. Write it down. That's when you learn. When I was learning JavaScript, right, 9 or 10 years back, I was actually sitting and writing every single line of code that course was giving. I was watching 50-hour lectures, 100-hour lectures, and when I was watching, I was writing it down. Okay, whatever I used to see on the documentation, I used to actually write it down and run the code. That's when you'll be able to learn everything in depth. Okay, so it says is adult is equal to true, correct? Now this data type is nothing but the Boolean data type. Before we proceed, so you're telling Srikanth, like, how are you are saying that this is a string data type, number data type, and all these things. Right? How are you telling it? I'll tell you how to actually check that out. So if I just go here, let's just put my age or something like that. Okay, for now, that's not my age, by the way. So I'm just gonna print the type of this variable right now. See how you do this. There is a utility called as type of. So if you can just do console.log, then you can say type of, okay, my age. Now it will print the type of the variable age. So to show that, I'm just gonna say type of, okay, my age is going to be this. Okay, so let's go back here. You see, type of my age is equal to number. Small assignment for you. I want you to print the type of this string, any one of this, and I also want you to print the type of this. I'm also going to show you the last one. I want you to print the type of this. Okay, cool. So now if I just show you over here, console.log is adult, the type of what's this going to be? It's going to be Boolean. It's going to be Boolean. Got it? So these are the most important three primitive data types in JavaScript. Now in the next lecture, we are going to be learning about the rest of the primitive data types. So this is the first part of the primitive data types lecture. We'll be looking at more in the second part of the primitive data types lecture. Okay, so there's going to be 3 lectures in data types, 2 for primitives and 1 for non-primitive data types. And then we are going to be diving deep into every single data type and how exactly they work under the hood. Okay, so I hope you understood this. I'll see you in the next lecture.